Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys, thank you. You know that I started with 22 subscribers, 4 or 5 weeks ago, and you guys helped me get to 500 subscribers before the first of the year. I thank you for that. And my goal is not to let you down, but to keep going with this. I am working on something that has to do with children in Scientology, in hopes that this little project that I'm working on maybe could be used over and over again as an alert, as an awareness, as something, I don't know. I'm working on it. It's not a documentary, it's not anything big, it's just something small and powerful that I'm hoping might make a difference if we keep using it. I don't know. We're going to see. I've not completed it, but I'm hopeful that I'll get it in the next few days. I'm off for a day, and though I'm probably going to sleep for a lot of it, I'm hoping I can get this done. In the meantime, I told you that we'd go over the SPTV community and talk about some people that we've been introduced to in some way, shape, or form through this community. Also, very important, in the chat, in the comments, there are people with larger channels and much more knowledge of Scientology than me. I welcome them. They're willing to answer questions, and I see that they're willing to answer questions. And please, if they're willing to answer your questions and they can answer a question I can't answer, ask them. And also follow them. Please, show them support, if you will. There's been a few people that have tagged me in the Andrew Gold show that he did about Doug. I saw that too. He spoke out of turn. I don't know if that's still up, but I'm going to address that, because if it's still up, it shouldn't be up. And if he didn't do anything to apologize about that, I think that he should, definitely. And I like Andrew Gold. I think his way of interviewing is really good, but I got to tell you something. And I'm going to put this, I don't know how this is going to sound, but there's a young lady that I've seen interview, and it has nothing to do with Scientology. It just has to do with personalities on YouTube. It's more for the younger generation, but her interviewing skills are spot on. She asks tough questions and gets answers to things that people want to know the answer to. It's not stuff that I'm really interested in per se, but I definitely have to give credit where credit's due. This young lady's name is Swoop, and she has blue hair. And I'm just putting that out there because I fall asleep a lot of times with YouTube on, and sometimes I wake up and there's something I'm not really familiar with, but this interview grabbed my attention, and I thought, wow, you know, she puts a lot of top interviewers to shame. So watch it, Andrew Gold, if you're not being fair and true, because this young lady is going to take it away from you. Also, I mean, you know, I'm going to look into hoping that Andrew took that off and apologized for what he said about Doug, because that was definitely premature even when he said it. I mean, I don't know, kind of jumped the gun on that one. But in the meantime, we're talking about Lara FM. So, as you guys know, I've watched that Over the Rainbow, which I highly recommend, that documentary. Not just the excerpt from Dazed and Confused by Doug, rest in peace, Doug. But you can get this on YouTube for free. And it is extremely enlightening, and I recommend it. And Lara FM, her story broke my heart, and I want to share it, and I want to comment on it so that again, just pushing the dangers of Scientology. Just, you know. So yeah, so we're going to watch that and we're going to talk about that. Guys, thank you again so much. Happiest and healthiest of New Year's to you guys. Let's get into this. Thanks, guys.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Weird number.
Yeah, well, it's an office. It's not off. It's an empty office. Weird number.
Oh, okay. Empty office, weird number.
Yeah. Okay, so are you ready to receive some calm and receive it?
Yeah.
Okay. So look, here's the thing. I'm like torqued. Okay. I'm upset right now. I'm going to restrain a lot of things that I have to say. I'm not even going to get into that. Here's my simple upset, okay? You just need to come in and see the ethics officer and sort out your originations and your viewpoints. That's the correct thing.
I don't have any originations or viewpoints.
Okay.
I don't even want to talk about it.
That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. So you will be contacted and you will be asked to do that.
I understand why there is an upset. I understand, and this is what I said. I spoke to the person because I needed to know. I found out what their disagreement was, and I understand why the organization isn't okay with it and why they violated whatever their agreement was to the organization. And you wrote a report on me saying I contacted a suppressive person.
That's right.
So, anyways, all that makes me feel is that I tried to have a really close conversation with my father, and that close conversation turned into a Sea Org member.
See, what you just said is pretty vile, okay? Pretty vile.
Vile? Why?
Below the belt.
What's below the belt? What do you mean?
It's condescending and degrading, okay?
What's condescending?
I have a conversation with my father. I have a conversation with a Sea Org member. It's vile and condescending and
Wait,
foul.
hold on. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I'm willing to have that type of calm.
I didn't say that. I said I was trying to have a conversation. I was trying to talk to you as you being my father and I'm your daughter. I was bringing up stuff, upsets I had talked to you about the ranch, and then that somehow turned into a report. I didn't say that you became a Sea Org member and you weren't my father. I'm saying I was trying to have a father relationship. And that made it just felt that when the report that I'm calling in on was written by you, it's just all that sincerity that I wanted to have with you feels like you didn't duplicate any of it.
I obviously love you dearly as my daughter, and you know that. Look, your life is your life. What you do with your life is up to you. You know, you're a being, you're a spiritual being. You're not just like a one lifetime person. So, you know, we have in this lifetime to be a father-daughter little kind of game going, you know. But, you know, you've been a parent, and you've been a daughter and a son, and all kinds, whether it's real to you or not. The point is that is the business of it, okay?
Wait, what? I didn't get that last part.
I just said that is the reality of it, that's all. It's just the way that it is. So where do we go from here?
I don't know, Dad. I mean,
all you need to do is you need to take responsibility for one's actions and one's decisions. Like, that's all I can tell you. I'm
right.
willing to take responsibility at my end. I need you to take responsibility at your end. You're the one that's now stating you're not going to abide by the church policy or the agreements of the church.
Yeah.
Okay? That's your decision.
Great.
And so there's some consequences that go with that.
What are what?
Well, you need to read them.
Why do I need to read them? I know I need to read them again so I can be threatened like, hey, your dad has to go.
Stop that. Just stop those barbs.
What barbs? Threaten? That's a barb for you? Threaten? Yeah, you're threatening me. You are threatening me, Dad. You're saying there's policies, and if you don't do them, then we're going to have to take further action. That is threatening me.
Okay.
I would, you know what? You know how fucked up this conversation is I would never treat my daughter like this. When I have a baby, I'm going to be, I hate it so much that it's like unbelievable. In the same way that you think I won't do it, it's so insane to me that you can't remember that you had me in this world. This is not your life. This is my life.
That's right. It is your life.
So where is your line of going, you know what? My daughter is allowed to do and be whatever she wants. She doesn't have to do, and nobody has to do anything in their lives.
I got it. My answer to you is this. You need to come in and see the ethics officer, okay? You just need to do that. And I'm never going to change that particular point because you need to do that.
Guys, here's somebody that's trying to talk to their dad, who's saying, when I talked to you, when I wanted to talk to you as my dad, you didn't show up as my dad. You showed up as somebody who worked for an organization that when I confided in you, you told on me. It's not safe for me to talk to you. I should be able to talk to you as my dad, and that should be safe. But it's not. I confided in you and told you things, and I got in trouble because you told on me. And basically what I'm hearing from this dad is, listen, I love you so much as my daughter, but you have to remember, this is only one life. Yo, man, this is the life that we remember. This is the life that we're living. Because we don't know if we come back for real. This is the life that matters now. So here's my problem, and we're going to watch more of this. This is abusive behavior from a parent, and this is a young adult. This is an adult person. What about those 14, 15, 12, 13-year-old kids that are getting the same response from their parents? Why is that okay? Where is the safe place for these kids? We're supposed to be able to go to our parents and know that when we go to them, it's safe. This is not safe. That was not safe. That's Scientology? Where is that right in any way, shape, or form? How do people see that and justify that's the way you treat your daughter? Come on, man. Like she said, you put me here on this earth. You put me here. You have some responsibility to be there for me. You're not even helping the planet, to be honest with you. So what are you doing? If you're not there for these kids, you're kids. What are you doing? Show yourself. Where are you helping yourself? For the greater good, using your kids as collateral. Come on, man. Come on. Let's get back into it, guys. Let's just get back into it. I know. I lost my dad. We had a really good relationship. We had listen. The last 7 years of his life, we didn't talk for like 4 years. We only started talking the last 2 years, so the last 6 years of his life. The last 6 years of my dad's life, we had a falling out. Because he was being brainwashed. The last 2 years of his life, we reconnected. I'm so grateful he showed up as my dad again. So, yeah, I take this as somebody that can understand needing your dad and your dad not showing up for you. I'm grateful my dad, at the end of his life, we were okay. We had a really good relationship again. I hope that happens for this woman. I don't know who her dad is. Isn't that something, though?
Your body is just part of you, this thing that you're running. So you should act no different than an adult would. One time it got really bad, and I got into this huge argument with Renee, this girl, the governess, which she was an adult. She was, I think, just turned 17, or maybe she was 16. She was way older than the rest of the kids, but she was very unintelligent. She couldn't get through any math books, or she couldn't get through any regular schooling, let alone the Scientology studies. She was just not very bright. I don't know, whatever. I don't know what's going on in her life. But, so they made her the governess group. So I would say she was one of the worst offenders that I didn't get along with. You know, it was just because she was told to do it. You know, those were her orders. So I don't think she's a bad person. That's really hard for me to say to this day, because I've never spoken to her. But we didn't get along at all. So we got into it really bad one time, and I would just have these fits, you know, and I would just be swearing, and every time I swore, she would just keep track of it. She was like, that's, 23, 24, and I was just like, fuck you! I was so upset, and it was at like 72 or something. And I remember one day, she had to spank me for each, so 72, it was 73 or 72, it doesn't matter, but each spanking was 3 slaps, bare butt. And she hit so hard. She would do the work with us sometimes because she was bored. Like, we'd just be working, digging trenches and stuff. So she was really strong, she knew how to deal with us, and we were all kind of afraid of her because she could just pull us around and, whatever, so we'd have to listen to her. So to get in an argument with her, which I did, and I hated her, I just couldn't stand her. She couldn't be wrong no matter what. And probably in her eyes, I was the same way, So yeah, so one weekend, and I don't know if my mom remembers this, I'm sure she does. I mean, it would take her a little minute to think about it, but she got off this bus, and I was pushed aside, or not pushed aside, but it was like, you wait there. And I was just kind of like, oh, great. You know, the governess group is, the IC is gonna go tell my mom how horrible and bad I've been the whole week. And so they were like talking, and then my mom came over to me. She was like, hi, honey, and I just felt her concern. She was like, what's wrong? Like, you know, how come I've heard, you know, whatever. And I just started bawling and bawling, and I couldn't tell her. I was like, I couldn't breathe. I was so upset. And then she brought me in, and I just pulled down my pants, and I showed her all the bruises, like the handprints on my butt. And I don't remember what happened after that. I think she just left. I think she went to go talk to, I don't know what happened, but I thought she left, and she like went to go talk to her or something. So I felt better about it. I don't know, it was weird. Anyways, yeah, that's still, and I feel bad for the girl because she probably feels bad today about it. But I don't know, I couldn't do that to my own kids if I had kids, you know? And that's what gets me the most. It's like, how does anybody treat a child like that? Like, if I had my own child, I would want to know, I would want to be so close with them. For my mom to not, I don't know. Like, I guess, you know, it really ties into the whole Scientology thing. That's her purpose.
So that was a 16, 17-year-old kid putting hands on another kid where there's marks up to, what, 210 times? Because for every smack, I mean, for every hit, there's 3 smacks. And a mom that we're not too sure if that's in Lara's mind that her mom did the right thing, because she didn't take her kid out of that. It might have upset her to see it, but she didn't do enough to do anything about it. So that's child abuse. That's child abuse. It's psychological, it's emotional, it's mental, it's every bit of safety that we feel we have is taken from us. And what about the kid that was the abuser? Lara feels bad because she had to do it. Isn't there something very warped in that? Where is religion anywhere here? What's going on here? Parents are not showing up for their kids. What's going on here? These are things that we know. What's going on here? Come on. These are kids. These are kids that are damaged adults now that are trying to function in this world, reaching out to people that aren't family because there aren't any. Sometimes getting a friendly hand to say, yes, I will help you. Sometimes being drugged into another cult.
The beach is not for Scientologists. You're too busy doing stuff. You're too busy to care about the beach. The only time I got to really experience the Clearwater Beach is when I blew.
Guys, I don't know if I'm right or not, but I think that we're here to experience life, right? To experience it. And I don't understand how we're depriving people of the feel of the ocean, of the smell of the salt in the air, of the smell of fish, of the smell of life, of just life around you. To go from point A to point B every single day. Where is the clearing of the planet? What am I missing here where Scientology is doing something that you can't jeopardize life, but you certainly can't jeopardize life for nothing. And I've always tried to understand, what do Scientologists believe? Because they don't know anything about Xenu until they get to a certain part of Scientology, and most of the people never get there. So they just believe in the writings of L. Ron Hubbard that are about getting past your getting beyond the things that are your hurdles in life, which we all have. Regardless if you're a Scientologist or not, we all have hurdles in our lives. So getting beyond the hurdles in your life and being the best person you could be while helping others. Well, fuck, that's anything. I mean, that's anything good. I'm like that. I'm not a Scientologist. It's not costing me the smell of life or living life or dictating to me. But Scientology is doing that to so many people. For the promise of what? Of what? I had a conversation about people that fame, like that thing that I told you, Matthew Perry, remember he said, God, I don't care what you do with me, just make me famous. I feel like some of these people that get into Scientology is young adults that want to, like I said, streamline other people and get to like an acting, to be major stars and celebrities, that there's a price for that. I don't think it should be that high. And once people realize, fuck, I've been, bamboozled, let the person go. You don't have to take everything from them. That's just common sense, right? And then what about these young kids that we keep speaking about that haven't made that decision? There was somebody that I watched say they were 4 years old. Was it Dianne Etex? That said they were 4 years old and that they, with a red crayon, signed their name to a $4 billion contract. To a $1 billion contract. They were 4 years old using a red crayon. Imagine at 4 years old being told over and over and over again, you signed, you made a promise. That's not child abuse? Of course that's child abuse. That's total manipulation. Come on, guys. Right? So what am I saying here in all of this? How? What? Who? I got a lawyer, right? That's in the chat. That's in the comments. And I don't mean to, what can we do? Is there anything we could do? Is there any way that we can help? Somebody says, let's write to the Pinellas County Police. What do we do? What do we do? I just, Leah Remini has this huge platform, and people are trying to expose and take down Scientology from all these different angles. I only see a few people talking about the children. That's so important. That's more important than the tax exempt to me. Now, people say, wait a minute, you got to hit them where it hurts, and that's the tax exempt. And if you do it that way, then it all comes crumbling down. Does it, though? Does it? Is that really it? Focus can't just be the kids. I'm asking. I don't know. I'm asking. Guys, we got things to talk about. I got some gossip stuff too. I've been sent, like I said, some other channels. So guys, we've got a little bit of gossip to talk about, which I'm gonna do a video on real soon, because I've had people get in the chat, send me some stuff. So we'll talk about that. This, I really just wanted to focus on, the children and Lara FM, and I'm gonna go ahead and link her YouTube channel below, and the link to where I watched Over the Rainbow, so that you could watch it if you want to, the full documentary, which really does make Jeffrey Augustine and Karen Ladell Carriere look very suspicious, because they're kind of praising the technology, and yeah, so that's a little weird. I'm gonna leave this with Lara FM, just, you know, talking about how her first experience of life at the beach was like for her. I'm going to wish everybody a very happy and healthy new year, and I'm sure I'll see you soon. I hope to see you soon. I thank you so much for 500 subscribers. You guys are the best. I know everybody says that. It's such a cliche thing. I hope that I show you that. I hope that I show you that in the chat. I hope that I show you that in content. I hope that I show you that in everything I do with this channel. So thank you, and let's let Lara lead us out of here. And all right, guys, thank you.
We caught the trolley during lunchtime and went down to the beach. That was heaven. It was so weird. It was like, it was kind of dirty. Like, there were certain parts where it was kind of like, and at this point, I'd never drinking alcohol or anything like that. So it was like, I could smell the bars and like smell the fish, like in the water being that close. I was like, wow, this world is not how I ever, got a chance to see it, but how I ever would have imagined.
Don't forget, be better today than you were yesterday, but not half as good as you're going to be tomorrow. Thanks, guys.